Hello and welcome to Idle Kingdom Defense. I know there's a lot of new players to this game. The game recently had a Reddit started up. I've been playing this game and I'm on about wave 3000. But I wanted to make a tutorial of a recommended way to start the game and kind of go over a few different things that might be helpful to new players. So first off, you can see that I'm already at stage 24. I basically just let the game auto battle and let it run with the basic settings. So I've gone through the tutorial. I have upgraded my castle only to level 20. You get that in the tutorial. And my archers just have their default bow. And as far as my heroes go, I only have the 2 heroes that they give you to start with. So basically, I started the game. I wanted to kind of skip the tutorial. If you play this game, if you enjoy this game, you're going to have to go through quite a bit of tutorial, and this is right after you unlock the gold mine. The first thing I wanted to talk about is, of course, there is a 7-day event. I believe this is for new players only. You can walk this through, and at the end you get a 60 shards of a 3-star hero that basically gives you Aisha. She's an A tier hero, and she's good for healing. She's a good early to mid-game hero. So first, let's go look over the heroes, because there are some heroes you can get relatively early in the game that are really strong, and they would be your best ones to level up. The first one we're going to talk about is Brian. Brian is a great hero. He's a C tier hero, but he's great because he gets a buff. The buff is called Warrior's Will, and this buff applies to all the warriors on the field. You will start out, once you level your castle up, with probably 1 warrior. As you get further in the game, you'll have up to 5 warriors. So you can see pretty easily that this buff, and he's one of the few heroes that gives a buff to all the warriors on the field, is very powerful. So when you're starting at the game, he is one of the heroes you'd want to get, and you can actually ascend him and level him up as much as possible. We'll talk about Ascension in a bit. And another good starting hero is Luke. This is because Luke has a damage buff that increases the attack of all of your support heroes, and you eventually will have 8 of 40%. Another really those are probably the 2 best low tier heroes, is CT heroes that you get. So when you start the game, just remember Brian and Luke. Both of those heroes are great to start the game and work with. So let's go over and do some summons. So you'll notice I have these tokens. You get awarded these tokens as you complete missions. And the more of these tokens you have, the more basic free summons you can get. They don't take any of the currency up here. So generally, you want to do an ultra summon. This summons 10 heroes, and you get 3 to 12 of the hero shards per summon. It has the best probability for you to get the S tier heroes, which is really how you're going to advance the game. So again, as I told you earlier, I have idled the game for a while. I think I idled it for about 2 days, and that was just so I could give you kind of a thorough introduction of what you could have happen. Another thing that you can do is summon gear, and it's important to check this, because right here it explains that the box will increase at stage 155. What that means is if you reach 155, you will get a better box of gear, so you need to make note of where you are in the stages before you do the summon. This is important because obviously if you're at like stage 154, obviously you want to save up all of your summoning material to try and hit the next stage so that you can do a better ultra summon of gear. As far as purchasing a hero goes, this is the ancient, I believe it's called ancient coin. And when you basically dismantle the shards of heroes you don't want, you can then spend these over here to buy shards for heroes that might be useful to you. You can refresh this 20 times a day for free. Basically, you would just flip through this and see what's available. And then this is dismantling the shards. You can dismantle the shards so you can get the ancient coins. So after we've kind of gone through this screen, let's go ahead and do the free summons first. Okay, we got Mason, we got Diego, and we got more for Logan. Alright, let's do some ultra summoning. Are you serious? Okay. I can't make this up. We got Gabriel, an S tier hero, on our first pull. And he is one of the best heroes in the game. What Gabriel does is he buffs your archers by 80% for 6 seconds. I can't even believe this happened. This is going to make the whole starting experience not look like anything that you're going to likely experience. Because Gabriel's so OP. I'm sorry, I just can't believe that my first pull on my brand new account, we hit one of the best S tier heroes to probably start with, and that's Gabriel. Let's do another summon. Okay. Alright, this is Tristan. He is another S tier hero. He is a great hero to get. So we're doing really well already. And you also got some additional shards, and we got 3 shards for Luke. And this is Sophia. She's really not that useful at the beginning of the game. And this is Aisha. You'll still get shards for her too. Let's try another one. Okay. We got some shards for Brian, but nobody spectacular. And here's our last one. Okay, and we got Blake. Okay, Blake is a tier hero, so that's a great warrior for us to start with. Now, Blake will be initially better than Brian, but towards the end of the game, Brian will outscale Blake just because Brian has the buff that applies to everybody. Alright, so as you can see, we are off to a great start with our summons. I did not expect that. Now, you never want to do advanced or greater summons or normal summons. You always want to save up for an ultra summon. It is sort of annoying. The game will always show you that you can summon something, but you need to make sure you're doing ultra summons. Also, when you start the game, you do not want to spend your rubies on ultra summons. Let's summon some gear. Not bad. That's pretty good. Okay, now we have some gear to work with. I'm going to do one more summon. And again, you won't have this much material. I kind of farmed the beginning of the game, so when I did this introduction, we would have a lot of parts of the game already explained. So, go through. Okay, so now when you're equipping gear, you want to make sure that when you equip gear, you equip all gear of the same tier. In this case, I don't believe we even have a full set of gear, so some gear is... Oh, sorry, I didn't even realize this is a tier 2 set of gear. My mistake. And this is a tier 1. So you always want to equip a full set, and you should always just use the auto-equip. That way it'll pick the best tier of gear, and when you equip all the same tier, you get a set bonus. That's why you always stick with the same set of gear. Now, you can also combine gear. I'll go over that in a little bit. But right now, since you're just starting out, I have a mix of 2-star and 1-star. You don't want to combine yet. You want to basically get everybody to 1-star, then work on combining, get everybody to 2-star, etc., etc. As you can see, there's a lot of tiers of gear, but you can use the auto combine to quickly get up to the next tier, and then you would just close this, go back to your hero, unequip, re-equip, and if we did do a 2-star upgrade, you'd be able to equip that real quickly. Now, we aren't using Gabriel right now, so we don't need to equip him, and we aren't using Blake, so we don't need to equip him, and we aren't using Tristan, so we don't need to equip him. We will go over the formation in a bit, because I'm just kind of floored that we got Gabriel first pull. As long as with the other heroes. And you also have quests, so here's a daily quest. And again, this little red dot will basically tell you what's available. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not. Okay. We got 3 more little summons, so let's go do those real quick. Okay, I pulled Ellie. I will tell you, I have my main account. I did not get this lucky on my main account. This is crazy. Okay, the next thing is there is an ad shop. The ad shop is what I feel is fairly reasonable. You're guaranteed to get rubies if you watch videos and other things. So you know, if you can't afford to spend a lot of money in the game, you know, you can at least guarantee that you can always get some rubies. That's why I say it's always important to go ahead and spend your rubies. There's no need to hoard rubies, because if you used up all your rubies today, you can come right back here and you could at least get 500 rubies. Now the next thing is, what's the best thing to spend my rubies on when I'm starting out? The best thing to spend your rubies on is you go into the ruby shop and you go into upgrades. I'm going to go over all these upgrades real quick because it's really important that you spend your rubies here first. And once you've maxed all this out, and I've maxed all this out on my main account, and it really doesn't cost that much. Once you've done maxed this out, then you can focus on spending your rubies elsewhere. Okay, so auto battle time. The auto battle starts out with 6 hours, and then you can upgrade it 5 times for a total of 10 hours of upgraded time, for a grand total of 16 hours of auto battle time. Auto battle gold goes up 20% each time for a bonus of 100%, and as far as I can tell, the auto battle gold is not when you actually battle on the field, but it's specifically the auto-generated gold that you get from battling. Same with the auto battle soulstone. It has 5 levels from 20 to 100%. Medals per ad. This has 10 levels. Each one gives you 5 additional medals. Portal tickets. This gives you 5 additional tickets. And we can't do the portal right now, but I will go over that later. Expedition ticket. This also gives you 5 additional tickets. Hill of Heroes ticket. This also gives you 5 additional tickets. Goldmine and Spectre's Ruin also give you 5 additional tickets. So all of the special events are 5 additional tickets. Now, the biggest thing you're going to be limited on is Ascension Stones. And the best way to get Ascension Stones, aside from watching the advertisements in the ad shop, is going to be through Goldmine tickets, Spectre Ruin tickets, and Expedition tickets. Now, the Expedition's really hard, so if you're just starting out, I don't think it'd be a bad idea to buy an extra Goldmine ticket. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm also optimistic that we're going to get to the Spectre's Ruin. This requires getting to stage 30. And since we have Gabriel, I don't see that being a problem. So we'll buy an extra ticket there. Once you have the Goldmine, Spectre's Ruin, and the Expedition maxed out, I would suggest start putting into the auto battle. This is mostly because, again, your limitation is going to be Ascension Stones. Everything else will just come with time. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's upgrade our heroes. Actually, let's go to formation. So right now you can see that we can have up to 3 support heroes, and we can't have a warrior yet. So actually, let's upgrade the castle first. So again, this is a starting castle. You get this through the tutorial. It starts at level 20. Let's see if we can get it up to 90. Alright, we got it up to 200. I don't know that we can get it up to 460. I think that's very optimistic. This gives us an extra support and warrior slot. So we can go to formation. Go ahead and put Blake in. We don't have another warrior. And go ahead and put Gabriel in. And we can go ahead and replace Ellie with Tristram. I didn't go over Tristram. Actually, let's go over the rest of the heroes, because again, I didn't expect to be this lucky. Gabriel is clearly one of the best heroes because he buffs your archers. The buff for your archers makes your archers extremely powerful because not only does it increase their attack, it also increases their crit. Again, we also got Mason. Mason is really not that useful. He is, like, if you're starting out of the game, you don't have anybody else, you didn't get ridiculously lucky like me, Mason is fine. But the important thing is don't invest a lot in leveling, ascending Mason, basically. I actually made that mistake. I got him up to level 700, and I regret it. But it is what it is. And here's Diego. Again, Diego's really not that great. What you're looking for from this tier is really Luke or Brian. Now the B tier, the only hero I believe that really stands out is Tristram. I don't believe Carlos. No, Carlos isn't. Carlos is good, don't get me wrong, because he summons barbarians, and just like Logan, they kind of take the pressure off your castle. But there are better characters later. So again, don't over-invest in Carlos. Austin, he's better than nothing, but he's a B tier hero. He doesn't stand out. Miguel, he's a B tier warrior. He doesn't stand out. Leonidas, he's again a B tier warrior. He doesn't stand out. Same with Randolph, B tier warrior, nothing special. And Jackson, B tier warrior, nothing special. Okay, now as far as A tier, Evan actually is in a good hero because he slows. He basically has Ellie's attack, but it slows. He's an A tier hero. He's pretty good. And a lot of what heroes you're going to choose and stuff like that depends how lucky you are. Aisha is an excellent early to mid-game hero. Once you get Brian hard enough, he kind of renders Aisha obsolete because Brian gives all your warriors a defense buff. What Aisha does is she heals all your warriors based on her attack. Xavier is an amazing support. He is basically a better Logan and a better Carlos. I actually have gotten so many shards for Xavier in my main account that I have upgraded him to Epic, and it's totally worth it because of the cavalry. And I haven't been lucky enough to get Adrian. Finally, there's Ryan. He's a mid-tier warrior. He basically has an AoE slow. It's okay. The other S-tier warriors are better. And Blake, which we got Blake. Blake, again, he's a good warrior. He has a knock-up attack, 60%. But he's not... He will be replaced with the S-tier warriors. Alright, as far as S-tier, Gabriel is one of the best heroes in the game, because again, he buffs your archers. Christian is also a good hero. He has an AoE attack of Barrage 1. And just to be clear, most of the S-tier heroes, if you get them, especially this early in the game, are going to be amazing. They're going to be way better than the other heroes. But I want to point out what you should focus on. Lucas, also a great hero. Sophia is a niche hero. She is potentially a good hero in Kingdom's Ruins, which we will get to later. Or, sorry, King's Ruins. But for starting out in the game, her ability cooldown is 30 seconds. And it's a really long cooldown that you might get to use twice per fight, and it heals the castle. But it heals the castle for so little that it's really not that great. And because of how the cooldown works, you can't really auto-battle with this, because if you auto-battle with this, she will immediately cast God Hands 1 at the start of the battle. And unless you're playing King's Ruin, your castle won't have any damage. Camellia, she has a line attack. She's basically a better Mason, except her debuff instead of stunning is she burns the enemies to reduce their attack. Herald is a AoE attack. It's basically an AoE attack and it's a stun. Again, these are all good heroes, if you get any of these. Now Daniel's another S-tier hero, and it's for the similar reason as Brian. It's because he buffs everybody. So Daniel and Brian, if you manage to get both of them and upgrade them, they will both be buffing all of the warriors with move speed and crit. In Brian's case, it's defense and crit. So they basically just make your warriors a lot stronger, and it works for all your warriors, which is why it's so good to have. Julian is a great one because he has a stun, and Anthony's another great one because he has another stun. Vincent and Roderick are good, but not as good as the other two. They basically, Vincent poisons, and Roderick debuffs the attack. So again, they're both good heroes, but they're not as good as the other ones. Okay, now that we've gone through the heroes, let's go through some of the other things we can do in the base before we take our next attack. One thing is go to the general store. Obviously, we haven't gotten the stage high enough to get these other ones, but we can go through and go ahead and buy basically everything in here. There's no real reason not to buy everything in here, especially right now, like the day is about to end. If we were going to get to stage 43, you could hold off. Let's see. No, Diego. I buy the shards anyways because these shards are cheap. Sure, get some summoning, get some ascension stones. Okay, this is Carlos, definitely a good one to buy. And we'll buy those too. So you basically want to come through and you can at least buy all the gold. I would not recommend spending your gems necessarily here, especially at this stage of the game. Possibly later in the game. Again, it would be really nice to pick up those 5 shards for Luke, but at this stage of the game, it's not worth spending the 100 rubies because we have a lot more upgrading we can do. Okay. Alright, we purchased from the general store, and you're going to have all kind of daily and main quests and stuff like that. Oh, we got the castle up. Got the castle up. And the game will give you a lot of free summons just for doing things like this. Oh, we did get 3 shards for Brian, so that's good. Okay, so now that we have our heroes set, and the ones that have the E are the ones that are equipped, let's get everybody some gear. Alright, let's get everybody leveled. Let's try going to level 50. Alright, we can go higher than 50. You can probably go to 100. We can easily go past 100. Let's go to 200. And again, part of the reason I'm able to level my heroes so ridiculously is I did let the game idle because I wanted to show you a good presentation of all the different tools in the game that are available to you. And I did not feel like I would be able to do a really good job if I couldn't really level the heroes a lot. Now, oh, whoops. I was not looking at the right thing. And now, well, we have 2 really strong heroes. And we're going to have 2 heroes that are a lot weaker than the other ones, but that's okay. We can unequip Ellie. She's not in the lineup anymore. Gabriel. Alright. So, next thing we'll do is we'll look at our archers. Now, I do have some crafting to do. Alright, I don't know that I want to craft that many bows. Let's see if I can... I kind of hate how the craft all works because I have 170 bows. I do not want to craft 170 bows because it's going to take... Oh, screw it. There we go. We got an S tier bow. That's basically what I was looking for. You really want to aim for S... Oh, S tier with ice, even better. You really want to aim for S tier gear here. It's not always going to be possible. We'll kind of go through that. Honestly, upgrading your archers is not the most engaging thing in the game, but it's very important to do. And once all this finishes... Okay. So we got 1 S tier bow. When you're just starting at... So the important thing is the element, the freeze. Your bow determines the element. And every other piece of gear can get an element, but they need to match the element of your bow. If they don't match the element of your bow, they don't do anything. Starting out, you're just going to want to upgrade to 4. Don't really worry about getting higher than that. Don't worry about trying to promote gear. You will get gear quickly when you're just starting the game. So, we're going to dismantle. Dismantle all this. I really wish you could dismantle more than 9 things at a time. Once we get through this, I'm going to show you something else you can do, too. Come on. Okay. Now, you can see we still have 84 bow recipes. We don't have to craft all of them. We can actually select it and dismantle these without crafting them. And we also apparently have a buttload of arrows to craft. Let's craft all the arrows. And again, don't match elements over a tier of gear. So if I got an S tier arrow, and let's say it's fire arrows, it would be better for me to equip my archers with the S tier arrow than go fishing for the same element. The element is basically a nice bonus if it can happen. Alright, so we got arrows. Alright, what do we know? We happen to have an A arrow. I don't think we had any S tier arrows. And we have A gloves. Let me just dismantle some stuff real quick so it's easier to see. That is a problem that the arrows and the gear, ideally you would think the gear would be sorted by star level, so the highest star levels first, and then the highest tier would be first. So it would be, if I happen to craft a 2-star arrow that's S tier, you would think it would be 2-star arrow S tier and then all the 1-star, but unfortunately it doesn't sort, so don't be afraid to come in here and when you know you have a good arrow to come in here and kind of dismantle some of this stuff to make sense of it. Because at least it does dismantle correctly, starts with C and works its way up. Okay, now I do have a possibility of a fire arrow, but as we talked about, since the bow's ice, we need to use the ice arrows. We're going to enhance that real quick. And we'll enhance the gloves real quick. Okay, perfect. And now, if we were consolidating gear, we would make sure to auto-combine the gear at this point. Now we don't have anything else to spend money on. We can't upgrade our heroes anymore. We're limited by the soul shards, or soul stones. And we cannot spend the money at the general store. We bought everything here. And we don't need any money for the blacksmith. You will also use gold at the sanctuary, but we haven't unlocked that yet. I will go over that when we get to that. And, oh, because we got Mason and we got Diego, so that'll show up until that's cleared. This will always show up because you can ascend Ellie at this point, so unfortunately, you're always going to see the red dot here until you don't have enough ascension stones to ascend somebody. Okay, also, once you craft something, you can come down here and purchase this. Another copy, like for example, if we wanted to fish for better arrows, and we'll do that, I'll show you how to do that. You could purchase a design. It'll only be designs that you can have crafted, not designs that have dropped. So for example, if I got a helmet and I accidentally just dismantled the helmet without crafting it, it won't show up in your list, and there's quite a long list of gear. And so we crafted, or we bought an arrow, we'll craft it real quick. It's a B tier arrow, does nothing for us, we're going to dismantle it. I would not really worry about trying to craft all S tier gear, especially early in the game, because you're going to get 2-star, 3-star, 4-star gear pretty quickly. So it's not something I would really hyper-focus on. However, if you are stuck on a wave you find extremely difficult, this is a good this is an area you can try to upgrade your heroes with. Okay, so now we're just going to spend the rest of the gold leveling up the castle, and let's see what happens. Okay, we have another support slot, so we'll put somebody in there. Okay, we almost got to 760. Now again, your castle when you start will not be this advanced. I let it idle for a while. So we'll come in here in formation, toss somebody in. Yeah, go ahead and toss Ellie back in. Yeah, this is a problem. It shows that you can summon when you can't. Well, I could summon more gear, but I don't believe we need to do that. Now let's look at what quests we completed. Enhance the gear, level up the hero. Get some free summons and some rubies. Again, like I said, this game does give you a lot of rubies. That's why you're okay with spending it. The only reason I'm holding back is because I kind of want to see how far we could get. Like I said, I didn't expect to immediately get Gabriel, who's probably going to really help us get a lot further in the game than I thought we were going to be able to get. But now that we've kind of done all the maintenance and I've showed you all the different things you can summon and how ridiculously lucky you could just get, maybe you'll beat me in luck. Maybe you'll start with something other than... I don't know how you could beat better than Gabriel on your first pull, but let's go. Alright, so now army and... Oh, we actually can upgrade the army more. Let's try and spread things out. Let's get people maybe to 70. I got a little overzealous last time. Get him to 150. Now again, you don't... It's no problem to level up heroes that you're not going to use later. Like, we're not going to keep Logan. You are not going to keep him. So, don't feel bad in leveling him. It's ascending him that can be a problem. You can generally make up what you spend leveling them. That's not a big deal. But when you use your Ascension Stones, those are very rare. So that really becomes your bottleneck. Okay. Okay, and now we can also ascend Logan, which we're not going to do. He's really not worth the stones. All right, let's level up the castle some more. Alright, now we're at 708. Okay, so now let's talk about the battle. See, this is the auto battle reward. You can go ahead and collect that. And you will get random drops too. I got a helmet. I kind of want to... I don't have a helmet for my archers, so I'm going to craft that real quick. Okay, we got... Now again, this is a great example. We got a C tier. But it has our element, but the B tier is better. Just go for raw damage. And let's enhance that to 4. Don't worry really about going past 4, especially early in the game. Great, we got a helmet now. Now let's see how far we can get. So I generally have it set to auto battle. You can watch an advertisement. This is how you know this is an advertisement, because it only lasts for 120 minutes. I generally just have every... Oh, okay. And you can also turn on auto progress here. And when you turn on auto progress, it will use these metals. We'll go ahead and turn it on. And basically, you... Oh, wow, we're just obliterating everything. Yeah, you won't have this easy of a time. Again, this is just because I over-leveled my heroes. And once we get to stage 30, we're going to go see the Spectre Runes. And we'll go through that. Because the event dungeon is very important in the early game. So this is kind of ludicrous. You can see how powerful Gabriel is, because he basically lets the archers just one-shot everything. I can't believe I got basically probably the best hero to start with on the first pull. But that's why you do your ultra summons. I can only hope that one of my viewers gets this lucky. RNG is RNG, what can I say? Okay, so we're just trying to get to stage 30. We're almost there. Okay, so now Spectre's Ruins is open. Again, this is very important because this is where you get Ascension Stones. So the event dungeon is located over here. You go in here, and this is how this works. So each one you have to battle through and win. And the more tickets you have, the higher you can go. So we are going to battle. And obviously, I am just going to destroy everybody. Okay, we'll do the next one. Now, as far as upgrading your heroes go, I don't know what the best strategy is in terms of how close you should keep them in levels and stuff like that. Obviously, I had so much gold and so many soul stones that I did make a mistake in over leveling Gabriel. Not that it matters. He's the best one we have by far. But when you're starting out, you might want to do it a little differently. Try to keep them closer together. But you should always focus on what are the best heroes. So now you see we can't get to stage 3 even though I do have a ticket. It's locked until 60. However, if you wanted to, you could go sweep a previous stage. Let's also go look at Spectral Ruins. So this one is basically a little higher than how the gold mine is. But basically you can't get to a new level of the gold mine without also getting to new levels of Spectre Ruins and the Hill of Heroes, I believe it's called. That one unlocks at 40. Okay, so hopefully this gives you a good start of the game and kind of the basic functions. I'm going to stop the video here right now. Well, let's go claim our quest rewards. So we did the event dungeon, and we reached Castle 600. Upgrade our heroes a little bit. So I'm actually going to play this offline for a little bit. Obviously, you saw how I can just go through the levels and just stomp everything. But the important part here is... Oh, let's go to our summon. Might as well do that too. Okay, we got Luke. Excellent. Luke is another one of the best heroes in the game. So let's go summon him. And this is where I made a mistake. Okay, it already summoned it for us. Level him up some. Okay, he's 57. When I get him to 100, I'm gonna... Oh, I can go ahead, and Ellie's so low, I can just go ahead and swap her out. I didn't even bother to level her. So, between Luke and Tristram, Luke gives everybody the attack buff, and 40% attack of their attack, so it's not based on Luke's attack. And he gives the speed buff. All the heroes are going to be very destructive. So, again, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to see more. What I'm going to do is I'm going to auto-battle through the battlefield. The next thing we're going to unlock is Stage 40, which is the event dungeon. I'm going to try to unlock Hilly. I'm actually going to go as far as I can. And whatever these new features I unlock, the portal, King's Ruins, Expedition, event dungeons, I won't do them. I'll come back and make another video, and we'll pick up from that point. And we'll go through whatever new features we unlock and what strategy you should employ at that point. Again, thank you for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day.